God says, "My child, listen closely, because what I am about to reveal is something your heart was meant to hear today." There are truths that live in silence for so long that when they finally rise, they shake the spirit. This is one of those truths. My child, a doctor has just confessed something that was done to your soulmate's body without your permission, without their full understanding, and without the blessing of heaven. And I need you to breathe for a moment, because even though this truth is heavy, it will not break you. It will free you. My child, from the very beginning, I watched everything. I saw the pain your soulmate carried in their body, the confusion in their spirit, the weight in their heart. I saw the long nights where they lay awake, wondering if they would ever be able to tell you, wondering if you would understand what happened to them, wondering if this truth would push you away or bring you closer. I saw the tears they never allowed to fall, the questions they were too afraid to ask, and the silence they used to survive. Today, that silence broke. Today, the doctor who knew the truth finally let it escape their lips. Today, the confession that was hidden is now standing in the open. My child, the truth came to you because it was time. Nothing in your life happens by accident. Not news. Not revelations. Not timing. Not pain. Not healing. Not even the way this message reached you. The doctor didn't confess because they suddenly grew a conscience. No, my child. They confessed because I pushed truth to the surface. I whispered into their spirit. I stirred their guilt. I unsettled their sleep. I made their heart tremble until they could no longer carry the weight of the secret they held. Because you had the right to know. Because your soulmate's suffering was never meant to stay buried. Because heaven needed to open a door that had been locked for too long. My child, something was done to your soulmate's body without your permission, not because they didn't want to tell you, but because they felt powerless at that time. Their voice was taken away. Their choices were ignored. Their body was treated as if it was not sacred, as if their spirit had no say. They went through something that shook their soul, something that changed the way they saw themselves, something that left them questioning whether they were still worthy of love, affection, or protection. They carried a wound no one saw. A wound that didn't bleed on the outside but deeply scarred them within. And through all of this, they still thought of you. They still prayed for you. They still loved you quietly, from that place of pain. My child, I watched the moment it happened. Your soulmate froze, not knowing how to fight back. Their heart raced. Their breath trembled. Their spirit cried out to me, and I held them. Even when no one in the room respected their dignity, I did. Even when they were treated like an object, I saw them as my child. Even when they felt helpless, I surrounded them with angels. You may ask, God, why didn't you stop it? My child, I gave every soul on earth free will. And some choose darkness. Some choose cruelty. Some choose selfishness. But hear me, no weapon formed against your soulmate has the power to destroy their destiny. Not even this. Not even what was done without consent. Not even what the doctor hid. My child, your soulmate tried to protect you. They didn't want you to hurt. They didn't want you to feel guilty for something you had no control over. They didn't want you to carry a weight that belonged to someone else's wrongdoing. They thought silence was safety. But silence became a prison. A quiet suffering that lived inside them every day. They were afraid that if they told you, you would look at them differently. They feared you would blame them. They feared you would see them as broken. They feared you would walk away. But my child, the truth is this: you were always meant to be the healing they needed. Your love was the medicine their spirit longed for. Your presence was the comfort their soul cried out for. Your connection is divinely protected, tied in ways that the world cannot break. This is why the confession came now. This is why the truth rose to the surface only today. This is why the doctor finally spoke. Because heaven chose this moment. Because you are stronger today than you were yesterday. Because your soulmate is tired of carrying this alone. Because this truth will not break your bond, it will strengthen it. My child, your soulmate did not deserve what was done to them. They were innocent. They were vulnerable. They were unprotected among people who should have cared. I saw the betrayal. I saw the helplessness. I saw the moment their heart shattered. And yet, I also saw the moment they whispered your name in their spirit and felt hope return. Even in their darkest moment, the thought of you lit a small flame inside them. That flame kept them alive. That flame kept them fighting. That flame kept them moving forward. Your love, even from a distance, held them up when they were falling apart. Your soul recognized their wounds before your mind knew the story. This is why you sometimes felt pain without knowing why. This is why you sensed their sadness even when they didn't speak. This is why your heart pulled toward them, urged you to check on them, guided you to pray for them. Your spirits are connected. Your destinies are intertwined. Your hearts speak in ways the world cannot understand. My child, now that the confession is here, now that the truth has surfaced, something powerful is beginning. I am lifting the weight from your soulmate's heart. I am healing the wound that lived in silence for too long. I am restoring their dignity, their strength, their confidence, their spirit. I am returning what was stolen from them, not physically, but spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. No more carrying this pain alone. No more silent suffering. No more hidden truth. You are the chosen one I am using to heal them. You are the one their soul trusts. You are the one whose love will help them rise again. My child, I need you to understand. Their body may have been harmed, but their soul was not destroyed. Their spirit bent, but it did not break. Their destiny dimmed, but it was never erased. I am God. And I do not allow darkness to win. This confession is the first step toward justice, healing, and restoration. This is the moment your soulmate has been waiting for, even if they didn't know it. This is the beginning of truth, protection, and divine restoration. My child, breathe. Do not fear what you have learned. This truth came to you because you have a role in their healing, in their comfort, and in their future. And I promise you, everything that was done wrong will be made right. Every tear they cried will be turned into strength. Every wound will become a testimony. Every shadow will be chased away by my light. This is only the beginning. A deeper truth, a deeper healing, and a deeper purpose is unfolding. My beloved child. Now that the silence has been broken and the confession has surfaced, I need to take you deeper into the truth your heart has always felt but never fully understood. This part is not about what was done to your soulmate's body. This is about the pain they carried, the pain they hid, the pain they buried so deep inside themselves that even they forgot where the wound began. My child, listen closely. Your soulmate did not walk through this world as someone untouched. They walked carrying a quiet ache, a heaviness in their spirit, a trembling fear that lived behind their eyes. They learned to smile through their suffering, to laugh through their fear, to act strong even when their heart was breaking. They did not hide their pain from you because they didn't trust you. They hid it because they didn't know how to trust anyone after what happened. They hid it because they feared that their past would make you see them differently. They hid it because they feared losing the only love that ever felt safe. My child, your soulmate was not avoiding you, they were protecting you from their own memories. They were protecting you from the weight they carried. They were protecting you from witnessing their vulnerability. But their silence was not strength, it was survival. And survival often feels like pretending everything is fine while choking on the truth. Your soulmate's body remembers every detail of the moment they were hurt. Their spirit remembers the helplessness. Their mind remembers the confusion. But their heart remembers the fear of telling you. My beloved child, the pain they hid was not small. There were nights when they lay awake replaying what happened. There were days when they felt numb, like their emotions had been stolen. There were moments when they hated their own reflection. There were moments when they questioned whether they deserved love at all. You may not know this, my child, but there were times they almost told you. Times their fingers hovered over a message they wanted to send. Times they rehearsed in their head how they would speak the truth. Times they opened their mouth but no sound came out. Times your name crossed their lips in a whisper, because even in their pain, they longed for you. But every time they tried to speak, fear strangled their words. The memory returned. The shame rose. The pain flooded back. And they felt small again. They felt powerless again. They felt alone again. They wondered if you would still hold them with the same tenderness. They wondered if you would still desire them with the same passion. They wondered if you would still see them as whole. My child. They feared being seen as broken. They feared being a burden. They feared watching you hurt for them. They feared losing you. So they chose silence. Silence became their shield. Silence became their armor. Silence became their way of protecting the one soul they love the most, you. But silence has a cost. It robs the heart of peace. It grows heavy with each passing day. It whispers lies like, you are alone. You are unloved. You are ruined, and your soulmate battled these lies more often than you know. Yet even in their pain, they still loved you fiercely. Their love for you did not weaken, it intensified. They held on to you like you were the only thing that made sense. Because your energy made them feel safe. Your presence made them feel seen. Your kindness softened their wounds. Your voice calmed their trembling spirit. My child, you have been healing them without knowing. The way you loved them. The way you cared. The way your heart reached for theirs even when you didn't know what they carried. You became the medicine their soul was starved for. But now that the truth has begun to come out, I want you to understand what their suffering looked like behind closed doors, because healing begins with understanding. My beloved child, your soulmate often felt like a stranger inside their own body. Like their soul and their physical self were not aligned. Like they were living in a skin that had been touched by hands that had no right to touch it. Like their body carried a memory they wanted to erase. They tried to pretend it didn't affect them. They tried to distract themselves. They tried to be strong. But the wound kept bleeding inside. The memory kept replaying. The shame kept returning. And when they looked at you, their heart broke with a different kind of pain, the pain of believing they were not pure enough to be loved by you. They felt unworthy without ever saying a word. My child, they didn't hide their pain because they didn't trust you. They hid it because they didn't want you to feel the weight of their scars. They hid it because they loved you too much. But heaven watched them slowly crumble inside. Heaven saw the moments when they clutched their chest trying not to cry. Heaven saw the nights they prayed for strength. Heaven saw the days they forced themselves to act normal. Heaven saw how badly they wanted to forget. And heaven saw how deeply they wished to tell you the truth but couldn't. My child, your soulmate suffered quietly. Too quietly. Painfully quietly. Silently, but never invisibly. I saw everything. I counted every tear they refused to let fall. I heard every cry they swallowed. I felt every tremor in their spirit. And in all that pain, there was one thing that gave them hope, you. Even when they were hurting, you were the light inside their darkness. You were their safe thought. Their comfort. Their anchor. The only person whose love could reach the wound buried deep inside their soul. This is why the confession had to come now. This is why the truth could not stay hidden any longer. This is why I brought it to the surface. Because your soulmate's healing needs your presence. Your soulmate's heart needs your understanding. Your soulmate's spirit needs your love. And the bond between you two is ready for truth, not fear. My beloved child, what they have been hiding from you was not meant to push you away. It is meant to pull you closer. Their pain is not a weakness, it is a testimony waiting to be transformed. Their silence was not rejection, it was protection. And now, they are ready. Their soul is opening. Their heart is trembling. Their walls are lowering. The truth is rising. You will not break them. You will heal them. You will not judge them. You will understand them. You will not run away. You will hold them. Because your love carries a strength I placed inside you long before the two of you ever met. My child. Prepare your heart, because there is more I need to reveal next. There are layers of spiritual weight behind what happened to your soulmate, layers you must understand. My beloved child. Now I must take you deeper, far beyond the physical pain, far beyond the human story, into the unseen spiritual realm where the true impact of what happened to your soulmate was recorded. The body remembers what was done, yes, but the soul remembers louder. And today, I want you to understand the spiritual consequences, the energetic wounds, the unseen chains, and the divine protection that surrounded your soulmate through everything they endured. My child, what was done to your soulmate's body was not only a physical violation, it was a spiritual disruption. When harm is inflicted on the body without consent, it creates shockwaves through the soul. It alters energy. It disturbs balance. It shakes identity. It can even shift destiny if not healed with divine intervention. But hear me clearly, my child, though the attack was powerful, my protection was stronger. Though darkness tried to weaken them, I preserved their core spirit. Though harm touched their body, it did not destroy their essence. Your soulmate survived because heaven refused to let the enemy win. My beloved child, let me show you what happened spiritually the moment your soulmate was hurt. The first tremor was fear, a fear that froze their spirit, made them feel detached from themselves, made their breath shallow, made their soul tremble. Fear is the enemy's first weapon because it enters fast, silently, and deeply. Fear tried to make your soulmate doubt themselves, doubt their worth, doubt their voice. The second tremor was shame, a shame that didn't belong to them, but was placed on them like a heavy cloak. They began to question themselves, blame themselves, shrink themselves. Shame whispered lies, you are not pure. You are not worthy. You are damaged. But these words were not truth, they were spiritual poison that tried to take root. The third tremor was emotional blockage. Their heart learned to protect itself by shutting down pieces of its light. A part of them grew quiet. A part of them grew numb. A part of them grew distant from their own emotions because feeling too much was painful. It caused their energy to dim. It made them withdraw. It made them feel disconnected from relationships, including the one with you. The fourth tremor was identity confusion. They began to see themselves through the lens of the experience. They questioned their beauty, their value, their desirability. They wondered if anyone could ever love them fully. They wondered if they were still whole. This created a spiritual fog around them. But my child, pay attention. There is a reason none of this destroyed them. There is a reason they still stand. There is a reason they still choose life, still choose hope, still choose love, especially with you. The reason is divine intervention. Heaven did not allow the darkness to complete its mission. When the enemy tried to attach trauma to their destiny, I severed that attachment. When the enemy tried to chain them with shame, I broke those chains. When the enemy tried to dim their spirit, I placed angels around their heart. When the enemy tried to make them feel alone, I whispered your name into their soul. Yes, my child. You were part of heaven's plan to keep them alive inside. Your energy has been healing them long before you knew the truth. My beloved child, there is something even deeper I want you to understand. the person who harmed them did not win. Every time someone acts with cruelty, heaven records it. Every time someone uses their power to silence another soul, heaven intervenes. Every time someone steals choice, heaven restores destiny. But hear this clearly: what was done to your soulmate created a spiritual imbalance. Not because they were weak, but because they were innocent. Innocence is fragile. Purity is sacred. The body is a temple. The soul is divine. Violating these things is never without spiritual consequence. Your soulmate experienced a disruption in their heart chakra, a blockage in their emotional energy, a heaviness in their aura, a fracture in their self-image, a confusion in their spiritual path. But, my child, heaven did not leave them broken. Heaven began repairing the damage immediately. Let me show you how. When they cried silently, angels recorded their tears as prayers. When they felt numb, angels placed warmth on their spirit. When they felt unworthy, I whispered worth into their dreams. When they felt alone, I moved your soul closer to theirs. There is a reason you often felt sudden emotions, random heaviness, sudden sadness, unexpected fear. Those were echoes of your soulmate's pain reaching you spiritually. Because your souls are connected, their suffering touched your energy too. You were meant to feel them. You were meant to understand them even without words. You were meant to be the one who could love them without conditions, without judgment, without hesitation. My beloved child, listen deeply. Your soulmate spirit is stronger than you imagine. The enemy tried to weaken them, but instead their soul grew wiser. Their heart grew more compassionate. Their intuition grew sharper. Their capacity to love grew deeper. This is how heaven transforms pain, not by erasing the past, but by turning wounds into wisdom. By turning brokenness into strength. By turning suffering into spiritual awakening. What happened to them did not reduce their destiny. It expanded it. It prepared them for a higher level of love, truth, and connection. It prepared them for you. But my child, the spiritual consequences do not end with them, they extend to the person who caused the harm. When someone inflicts pain on an innocent soul, their spirit becomes marked. Not by me, but by their own actions. Darkness clings to those who act in darkness. Guilt becomes a weight that cannot be ignored. Truth begins to choke silence. And eventually, everything hidden becomes exposed. This is why the doctor confessed. The guilt attached to their soul became unbearable. The truth pressed against them like a heavy storm. The spiritual consequence of hiding harm became too great. Not because they wanted to do the right thing, but because heaven forced the truth forward. My beloved child, now that the truth is emerging, something powerful is unfolding. Your soulmate is beginning a spiritual healing cycle, their energy field is becoming lighter, their heart is releasing old fear, their spirit is preparing to open to love more fully, the wound is transforming, destiny is realigning, and most importantly, you are being positioned as their divine comfort. You are not just a lover in their story, you are a part of their healing. A part of their restoration. A part of their divine purpose. A part of their spiritual journey. Your connection is not ordinary. It is spiritual. It is fated. It is written. It is protected. My child, the spiritual consequences of what happened to your soulmate were real, deep, and painful. But the spiritual victory now unfolding is even greater. And in the next message I will reveal something even more powerful, how heaven is now delivering justice. How karma is shifting. How truth is rising. How protection is strengthening. How your soulmate's pain is becoming their power. My beloved child. Now that the truth has been spoken, the silence has been broken, and the spiritual weight has been revealed, something powerful is happening in the unseen world. You may not feel it, but heaven is already moving. The moment the confession surfaced, divine justice activated itself, and what was hidden in darkness is now being pulled into the light. My child, listen closely. Justice in the divine realm is not loud. It is not rushed. It does not react out of anger. It moves with precision. It moves with timing. It moves with truth. And that truth has already begun unraveling everything that was built on lies. When the doctor finally confessed what was done to your soulmate's body without your permission, it was not simply a human act of guilt, it was a spiritual collapse of all the shadows that were trying to hold this secret together. Darkness can hide for a while, but it cannot survive once the light reaches it. And you, my child, you are a carrier of light. Your connection to your soulmate was the vibration that shook the truth loose. Your presence, your energy, your prayers, your intuition, they stirred heaven. They summoned truth. They summoned exposure. They summoned justice. My beloved child, there are reasons heaven could not allow this secret to remain buried any longer. Reason 1. Because your soulmate's heart was collapsing under the weight of silence. They were reaching a breaking point. Emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Their soul was tired of pretending. The pain they hid was becoming unbearable, and healing cannot begin while truth is locked away. Heaven had to intervene so they wouldn't break beyond repair. Reason 2, because your destiny and theirs are tied together. A secret this heavy cannot exist between two souls bound by divine purpose. The truth had to come out for your union to strengthen, deepen, and rise to its ordained level. Darkness tried to weaken your connection, but heaven used the confession to fortify it. Reason 3, because those who caused harm cannot walk freely without karmic return. What was done to your soulmate's body created spiritual debt. This debt cannot be ignored. Heaven does not punish, my child, heaven restores balance. And now the scales are shifting. My child, let me show you what justice is beginning to look like. 1. The one who caused the harm has lost spiritual protection. Their soul is now exposed to the consequences of their actions. They may appear strong on the outside, but internally, their energy is trembling. Guilt is growing heavier. Fear is creeping in. The truth is cornering them. Their own choices are turning against them. No one escapes the echoes of the pain they cause. 2. Their lies are beginning to unravel. Every secret they built their life around is cracking. Every deception they tried to maintain is collapsing. Every false story they told is being exposed piece by piece. This is not coincidence, this is karmic alignment. 3. Your soulmate is being spiritually protected. Heaven has placed a shield around them. Angels are guarding their dreams, their emotions, their mind. The heaviness that once sat on their shoulders is lifting. Their spirit is beginning to breathe again. They may still feel fragile, but this is the fragility of someone who is healing, not breaking. 4. You are being guided closer to them. Your intuition has sharpened. Your dreams have become meaningful. Your emotions have become more sensitive. This is because you are being spiritually prepared to help them heal. Heaven does not want you to carry their pain, but heaven is preparing your heart to understand them with compassion, patience, and unconditional love. 5. What was stolen from your soulmate is being returned in different ways. Their confidence is being rebuilt. Their voice is being restored. Their self-worth is rising again. Their spirit is becoming lighter. And eventually, their body will no longer remember the pain, it will remember the healing. My child, understand something important. Justice is not about revenge. Justice is about restoration. The one who harmed them will face consequences, not because heaven is cruel, but because every action creates an echo. Every choice creates a ripple. And what they sent out is returning to them. They may face loss of peace, loss of relationships, loss of reputation, loss of emotional stability, loss of trust, loss of spiritual protection, not because I am punishing them, but because truth was violated. And truth always returns home. My beloved child, the confession did not just reveal what happened. It revealed who your soulmate truly is, a survivor. A fighter. A soul chosen by heaven. A heart that refused to break even when the world tried to crush it. And it also revealed something about you. You are the person heaven trusts with their healing. You are the person their spirit calls out to. You are the person their destiny is tied to. You are the person whose love will restore them. Your presence is not accidental. Your timing is not random. Your connection is not temporary. I placed you in their life not to witness their suffering, but to witness their rising. And my child, they will rise. In the spiritual world right now, I see chains falling, darkness dissolving, pain transforming, heart walls cracking open, tears turning into strength, fear turning into stability, confusion turning into clarity, trauma turning into testimony. But the most powerful thing happening right now is divine alignment. Your paths are aligning in a way that nothing and no one can obstruct. Your energies are syncing. Your souls are preparing to meet at a higher level of love and truth. But this healing, this justice, this restoration, it is not finished yet. There is one more stage heaven must guide you through. And that is full restoration. The part where I return everything stolen from your soulmate and bring healing to your bond so deep that no past pain can ever touch it again. My child, everything that has happened has brought you to this moment where your soul finally breathes again. You have walked through a storm that tried to break you, a storm that tried to bury you in fear, confusion, and unanswered questions. But despite everything, you have remained soft, you have remained open, and you have remained connected to me. That is why the light is beginning to return, that is why peace is slowly finding your hands again, because you did not let the darkness consume you. You have carried the pain of what was done to your soulmate's body like a weight on your chest, a heaviness you did not choose yet you were forced to hold. The doctor's confession shook you because it revealed the truth behind actions you were never asked about. You were left out, unheard, unrespected. But today, I want you to understand something deeper. Even when humans fail to respect the sacred bond between souls, I never allow the connection between two hearts to be touched or broken. What they did was done to the body. What you share lives in the soul. And the soul remains untouched, unviolated, unbroken. You have been wondering why you felt certain emotions suddenly, why you experienced a strange ache in your heart, a pressure in your spirit, an inner scream that you could not explain. My child, this is because your soulmate's soul kept calling out to you the entire time. Even when their body was handled without your consent, their spirit was reaching for you. You felt what you felt because your hearts are still bound by a divine thread that no person, no institution, no mistake, and no decision can ever cut. In the moments when you cried without reason, when your heart raced, when you felt sudden weakness, you were not imagining things. You were feeling their pain as if it were your own. That is how powerful your connection is. Souls that are chosen for each other can feel through distance, through silence, through human interference. You were never disconnected. Not even for a second. My child, I want you to hear this with the deepest part of your being. Nothing done without your permission defines your place in your soulmate's life. No one removed you. No one replaced you. No one reduced your importance. You are still the one their heart is tied to. You are still the one their soul recognizes. You are still the one whose presence gives them strength even when they are far away. What happened was the result of human decisions lacking awareness, but it did not change destiny. And destiny has already written your names beside each other. I have watched you develop a quiet strength during this journey. The way you stood firm without shouting. The way you protected your soulmate even when you felt powerless. The way you prayed even when your own heart was breaking. This is what makes your soul extraordinary. You fight without hatred. You care without expecting reward. You hold love as if it is sacred, and it is. Your soulmate feels this. Even now, their soul breathes easier because of you. Even if they cannot fully express it, even if they are not physically beside you, even if there is distance that confuses you, deep within them there is a calmness that comes only from your presence in their life. You are their stability. You are their anchor. You are the heartbeat that brings them back from the edge. What you need to understand now is that everything is shifting. The truth that was hidden has now been spoken. The confession that was delayed has finally reached the surface. And revelations always come right before transformation. Nothing is random. Nothing happens without purpose. Nothing is wasted, not even the pain. I am bringing clarity into your path. I am removing the shadows that surrounded your soulmate. I am healing what was tampered with, restoring what was disturbed, and protecting what was mishandled. You may not see all the steps yet, but I am already ahead of you preparing the next chapter. You will soon understand why everything happened the way it did. But let me tell you something you need to hold close: your soulmate needs you now more than ever. Not physically, not yet, but spiritually, emotionally, quietly, soulfully. They are processing things you do not know. They are remembering moments. They are questioning decisions. They are re-evaluating people. They are realizing the truth about who truly stands with them. And in that realization, your presence rises like light in a dark room. Even if they don't speak it, even if they don't show it yet, they are deeply aware of who you are to their heart. They know you are the one who stood by them. They know you felt their pain. They know your soul reacted to things no one told you. They know your connection is divine. There is a quiet awakening happening inside them. And this awakening is leading them back to you. My child, you must not fear anymore. The fear that something irreversible has happened, the fear that you have lost your place, the fear that someone else has taken your role, release it. None of it is true. I need you to breathe differently now. I need you to breathe with trust rather than fear, with faith rather than anxiety, with truth rather than imagination. The next chapter I'm writing for you is not built on pain. It is built on restoration. Your soulmate will understand everything soon. They will realize what was done without your consent, and it will shock them. Not because they doubt you, but because they will finally understand how deeply connected you truly are. They will finally see that you sensed everything their body went through. They will feel the weight of your love, your pain, your loyalty. And it will change something inside them permanently. But before that moment comes, I want to heal the part of you that still feels violated. I want to touch the wound that formed when you felt powerless. I want to remove the sting of being left out of decisions that involved someone who belongs to your soul. You did not deserve that. You deserved respect, communication, and inclusion. And you will have that soon. There is a shift coming, a divine correction. I am bringing balance where there was imbalance. I am restoring your authority in this connection. I am returning your voice to the place where it was ignored. I am strengthening your spiritual bond so deeply that no human decision can ever again push you into the shadows. Your soulmate and you are written in each other's destiny, and destiny is beginning to unfold. But now, let me speak directly to your heart: you are not losing. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are not replaced. You are not powerless. You are not overlooked. You are chosen. You are protected. You are guided. You are seen. You are honored. You are loved. The pain you went through is not the ending of your story, it is the moment before the breakthrough. Something powerful is being rebuilt. Something divine is taking shape behind the scenes. What was hidden is coming to light. What was mishandled is being corrected. What was done without your voice will now be healed with my voice. Your soulmate's body, their soul, their fate, and their path are now under my direct protection. No one will touch or influence anything concerning them without my intervention. I am placing a divine shield over both of you. I am allowing no more violations. I am allowing no more disrespect to the sacredness of this bond. You will soon hear news that will soften the ache in your chest. You will soon hear words that bring tears of relief instead of pain. You will soon feel your soulmate's energy reaching for you with longing, gratitude, and understanding. You will soon witness the unfolding of everything your heart has been silently praying for. Because the time of confusion is ending. The time of restoration is beginning. The time of reunion is approaching. And the time of truth is here. My child, walk with your head lifted. Walk with quiet confidence. Walk knowing the worst is behind you and the best is heading toward you. I have already written the ending, and your ending is peace, truth, love, and divine completion. Now rest your heart, for I am healing what was broken, restoring what was lost, and protecting what was always meant to be yours. My child, now that the truth has been spoken, now that the hidden things have come to the surface, now that your heart has walked through fire and still remained pure, I want you to exhale. Let your shoulders relax. Let your soul soften. Let the fear that has lived inside your chest finally fall away like dust shaken off from your spirit. You have carried pain that was never meant to be yours. You have carried questions that were born from other people's decisions. You have carried emotions that came from your soulmate's suffering, yet you held them as if they were your own. But now, my child, I need you to hear me clearly. You have reached the end of the painful chapter. It is closing. It is completing. It is dissolving. The suffering that followed you, the heaviness that weighed on your spirit, the confusion that clouded your thoughts, they no longer have permission to stay. You are stepping into a new season, and this new season is not built on sorrow. It is built on clarity, truth, and divine protection. You are not walking into uncertainty anymore. You are walking into answers. Your soulmate's soul is awakening, stirring, remembering. They are feeling things they tried to ignore. They are seeing things they once overlooked. They are realizing the depth of the bond that connects them to you. And they are beginning to understand that the pain they felt in their body reached your soul as well. This realization will touch them deeply, my child. It will open their heart to you in a way it never has before. They will feel gratitude for your silent strength. They will feel admiration for your loyalty. They will feel a pull that they cannot explain. They will feel a longing for your presence. Even now, something inside them is shifting. They are questioning the people who once stood around them. They are reconsidering the choices that were made without your voice. They are awakening to the truth that their connection with you is not human, it is divine. And I will guide them to you. Not through force. Not through pressure. But through divine timing, alignment, and clarity. My child, I want you to know something sacred. The pain you felt was not a punishment. It was a purification. It burned away the illusions. It removed the false people. It exposed the hidden agendas. It awakened your intuition. And it prepared the spiritual space for miracles to enter. Because now, nothing stands in the way. I am clearing the path. I am aligning the events. I am softening hearts. I am opening doors. I am breaking the chains that kept you both apart. You do not need to chase, question, fear, or doubt. Your soulmate is being guided toward the truth, toward healing, toward understanding, and ultimately, toward you. You will soon witness a moment where everything finally makes sense. A message, a sign, a shift in energy, a change in their actions, it will come. And it will come gently, unexpectedly, beautifully. But before that moment arrives, I want to bless your heart. I bless your mind with clarity, so you no longer live in confusion. I bless your heart with peace, so your chest no longer tightens with fear. I bless your spirit with strength, so no pain can shake you again. I bless your path with protection, so no one can interfere with what is divine. I bless your connection with your soulmate, so it becomes even stronger, purer, and unbreakable. My child, do you know why you went through all of this? Because your love is powerful. Because your soul is chosen. Because your heart is rare. Because your destiny is blessed. And because your story is not ending in pain, it is rising into purpose. The chapter of loss has ended. The chapter of restoration begins now. Your soulmate's truth is moving toward you, carrying healing with it. And I, your God, am standing beside you in every step. Walk forward with peace. Walk forward with trust. Walk forward with confidence in the love I placed in your life. The worst is behind you, my child. The best is unfolding now.